Yeah,
Well, it's a pleasure to have you.
thank you
Uh,
very much.
could you please tell us about yourself? What do you do, and how did you end up in this project?
So I'm a director, writer, movement coach, and I specialize in narratives that are relationship based. My experience has been working across commercials, TV and film, traditional TVC, image campaigns, music videos, and I've always been interested in exploring human connection. Um, and on the side of that as well is innovation. How do we move forward? I think there's been a massive leap in the last 5 years within technology, especially back in 2020 when NFTs were all the rage. Blockchain was on a lot of people's lips. VR, AR. I'm interested to know how we develop and how we create in different ways and utilizing technology to make it simpler and more accessible as well. Um, I think that's one of the main key things that I'm interested in.
All right. Now I would like to talk more about your connection with AI. Now, how does this technology intersect with your artistic work?
How does it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm fascinated with how technology can improve creativity, and AI has been obviously a massive leap into how we create and the process of creation. Now I'm a massive collaborator, so I love working with people because I realize my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So I always make sure that I bring in the best people, because then I can delegate and go, what do you think? And the ability with AI is that you can sort of become a one-man shop in a way with all the tools, but then there's a fine line utilizing so much of AI and not having a community and not having the collaboration that we're used to before AI. So that's what I'm careful at, that you can obviously now create films and color grade and script write and image, create everything now. But I think the beautiful thing about creation and filmmaking, and just entertainment is about collaboration. It's all about teamwork. So I'm fascinated how AI is going to jump forward in the next 5 years, and what skills people are going to need to learn. I find when social media came about and YouTube, and the internet, there were so many jobs that died, but there's so many jobs that came about of it. And people only change on the brink of extinction. So when they have to change, they do. And that's what I'm always fascinated about. Like, how does society shift? Why do we now see things in a certain way? If AI came out 10 years earlier, what would it be like then? How would we interact with it? Now we interact with it now. And it's been quite a nice little process since NFTs were the main sort of thing on people's lips. Even if the main general public didn't understand it, people knew kind of what non-fungible tokens were, and it was a gateway into the Web3. Thus now you have an AI. So society sort of are more accustomed to innovation and technology in a way, but obviously we have new phones every single year, and it's just crazy for the speed of innovation that we're doing in the last 15 years. So I'm fascinated. That was a very long-winded answer, but I'm fascinated. It will always be in the future, just being like cubicles and with like straws coming out of us, like just like doing this thing, and our brains are wired up. I don't know. I don't know, but I'll be long gone before that time. I think I'll be in the cloud. I will be in the clouds. Then what says, that phrase, your head is in the clouds. That'll be me. I'll be there.
I don't think it will take that long. No, I think you will definitely be here.
My body will be gone. consciousness would be in AI. That's what's going to happen.
So, okay, that was a great answer. I would like to now, like, ask you, do you find yourself like using AI in your, like, as an integral part of your workflow? How often do you use
I
it?
use it every single day. I use it as a base, which is like, it's like saying, like meditation. Like, I can't, like, meditation helps you get into a right framework to then go into the next thing, right? AI, especially ChatGPT, it helps me start the process. And then once I've got a base layer, like I've got 2 or 3 sentences that I'm like, okay, that's a base thing. I say whatever I need. I then can then take those 2 sentences and then do the rest and like evolve what I sort of need to. So for me, it's like just a starting point. It's just to help me. And sometimes as well, like, I'm also very dyslexic. So for me, sometimes I know what I want to say, or I know what I'm trying to communicate, and then just putting your ideas down on a chat GPT and it formulating some sort of like paragraph really helps you start the process. And that's how I use it. And I think some other people obviously use it to write the whole damn thing. And I'm not. I think there's a different process, but I use it as a starting point.
I see. Yeah. Now, I mean, I think it's really hard to answer this question, but what do you envision AI bringing into filmmaking? I know it's such a hard thing to, I don't know, to foresee how it's going to work.
I mean, AI eventually is going to just be like, it's going to be its own. I mean, we even seen it recently with HBO. I think it was HBO grouping everyone as creators rather than writers and directors in the credit system. That's sort of the future, because now it's like, where does ideas come from? Who makes it? Is it just I have an idea and then the AI makes it? Are we just all creators? We're not writers, directors, or color grade or post. It's now we're just all grouped in the same thing. Like, I don't know, because AI only works at the moment is if you prompt it. But what happens when you don't need to prompt it? Does it become its own, I don't know, artist? I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, maybe you'll be buying Banksy, but the version of AI, and Banksy will be its own artist on AI, and we won't even need the physical Banksy. It will just be the Banksy on AI that we see. Banksy 2.0 or 3.0, isn't it? Banksy 3.0.
Yeah, I think potential is really great, but also, like, for me, it's also scary in a way. Does it also evoke some fears for you?
No. Yes and no. I mean,
it's always yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, everything in life can be really scary, isn't it? It's just the way you look at it, perspective. I think you either like go with it or you don't. But then there's also that saying, if you just go with everything, then you got nothing to stand for. So there is obviously pros and cons. Of course, AI, we know Robot, iRobot, and Terminator, and obviously there's the classics, and there's the two sides of it, isn't it? Like, Terminator's going to take over the world, and then the other side is that it's going to make everyone's jobs obsolete. I don't know. I mean, I think the people who make these things are smart, but maybe AI is smarter and it will outsmart everyone, and then we're all just like living in huts like I am at the moment in the dark ages. I don't know. I don't know. It's everyone has that conversation. Are you afraid of AI? I don't know. There's people afraid of bananas. It's just one of those. You know what I mean? It's all about perspective. It's literally how you see things.
But what about creative perspective? Like, as an artist, like, does it? I mean, there's this like greatest fear, you know, like now everyone can do anything thanks to AI. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I mean, but there was a point that people thought social media was scary and dangerous, and it is, but it's part of our society now, and it just be the same thing. I think people always, for everything, when they first said make fire, like they're like, oh my god, fire, like, and then it became sort of society. Like AI would just become part of our society, the way we use it, and it would just be integrated in our creative process. And again, people will just have to change and adapt and become prompting experts and all these things. I think the one producer said to me, the one thing that will be the last to change is the director, the role, because they'll always need someone to prompt it and put it all together. Everything else will probably fall first. But yeah, I just imagine when people like made like like shoes. Someone 600 years ago decided to have a shoe for the left foot and a shoe for the right foot. Right before that, it was just the same shoe. Now everyone goes, "Oh my god, why did they think of left and right foot?" But it was like a revolution. People just go, "This is madness." But we now go left and right foot. And it's just history just repeats itself. It's just the same thing. Just like just get on board, find out how to make it as safe as possible, put the regulations in place, and then let's just move on. Let's go for the ride. Let's just get on the board, on the wave, and just ride it. I mean, just ride the AI wave.
Yeah, I totally agree. By the way, I think we had a little network issue. I had a little problem hearing you. Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't inappropriate. It was like went crazy.
Oof.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but sometimes it just like cuts and then your voice.
It's like that. Bananas. Yeah, we're talking donkeys. Yeah, and then just goes on.
Yeah. But actually, I got all the answers that I was looking for.
Amazing. That's great.
Great.
Yeah. I hope you use my metaphors, my quotes.
Oh, no, it's going again.
I said use my metaphors, my quotes.
You use our metaphors?
I said you can use my metaphors and quotes to ideate what AI is.
Okay.
Oh no, the web. Oh, bloody signal.
It's okay. It's okay. I think we did a great job. Bloody signal. Right. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. That was really great. I really enjoyed it. You also enjoyed it.
I hope it was as informative, but again, a lot of these things you just don't know what the future may hold. But all we gotta do is strap ourselves in, be safe, and adapt where possible.